do you have that? Just have the small talk, because my vocabulary, I would say it's enough
Yeah.
to buy something, to like ask if they have something, to not obviously talk about politics and
Yeah.
economics
Okay.
and stuff. But it's nice. And then even when I did not have that vocabulary, they would
Yeah.
be really nice. They would say, "Oh, você fala muito bem, você fala muito bem," and I was like, "Não, não, obrigada, obrigada, obrigada." They just encouraging. They
Yeah.
encouraging.
Yeah.
So
They're
it's
very.
always nice when you at least learn 5 words and then you go to the same places and then it'd be like, oh, like I can't be that embarrassed just having those same 5 words. I need to know something more. So I
Mhm.
would say it's constant practice here with Portuguese, especially if you know one of the like Romanic languages. It will be very easy. It will be very easy because vocabulary pretty much the same, grammar pretty much the same, and
Mhm.
it would just need some time to like switch from one language to the other, but
Mhm.
it's practicing. And here people are really, really, really supportive, really supportive. So a couple of months, you'll be fine. Just trying, like living with someone who doesn't speak English, who speaks only Portuguese,
Mhm.
or like dating someone who's local, or like whatever language you want to learn. If you date a person who speaks that language only, you
Yeah.
will learn it really fast.
Yeah. That's the best way. You got to immerse yourself. Um. So we got a JM. He says, "I feel bad for the Russians. It seems like they're struggling overseas.
Oh, thank you.
I see many Russians in Thailand struggling financially, and they were trying to hustle." John Rose, that's me. Says she has a great personality, very pleasant. I do agree. She's a Bond girl, an NR girl. She's an NR girl. I have to come out there to Brazil, Rio with some NR gear or something. But I'm changing the channel to DI, Delane Isaac. So we're gonna have to when we do it in real life, we're gonna have to do it on that channel. But
Hmm.
speaking of which, guys, if you see, go to the chats, go above. The link is gonna be in the description. No reservations is gonna be on a new channel. This channel is called Delane Isaac Plus. All right. Ezreal says, "Are you from Kiev or Greece?"
I'm from Russia, Russia, Russia. My mom is half Greek, half Ukrainian, and my grandma now lives in it's Zaporizhia. Zaporizhia, it's like really close to Russia. Also, it's like it was one of the first like occupied territories. Podgorne is the village that she's from, and then all my mom's side is like Ukraine, Greek,
Okay.
and my dad is Russian, like Russian, Russian. Some Polish blood maybe there as well.
Guys, if you're enjoying content, make sure you support the channel with a super chat or a cash app. Let me check my cash app because sometimes people send that. That information is below. Or you want to send a like, it's free. Um, JM says, "Do Russian women still like American men?"
Um, well, I will tell you this.
Uh
I
oh.
had I had 2 American boyfriends, and I was thinking I will never date American again. I will never
Mm,
date American again. But never say never. And I would say Americans, they're really nice. It's just cultural difference could be sometimes there, but it depends. I mean, as always, it doesn't matter who you date. You
mhm,
have to be open in your communication and communicate what you like, what you don't like, and don't like being a bitch.
yeah.
Because I would say Americans definitely like Russians because we can give something that maybe American women cannot give in terms of like I don't know, just what I've heard firsthand is that like we look after ourselves in a different way,
Mhm.
just treating men in a different way, just being in relationship. We're like maybe less what is it? Femin
Feminine?
feminist feminists.
Oh,
We're less
feminine.
feminists. Yeah.
So there's no feminists in Russia.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. No,
Which
there are feminists in Russia. Absolutely.
not as much.
Absolutely.
Not as much for them.
We're not that extreme. We're
Okay.
not that extreme because what we say, we believe that, I mean, okay, let's put it that way. I would not be speaking of like all women in Russia.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
say what I personally feel. I
Yes.
believe that a woman should remain a woman, a man should be a man, and whatever woman's energy is up to, she should be advocating for that. And a man should stay, the man should be like protecting, like providing, and a woman should be caring, should be helping, should be nice. But it doesn't matter necessarily that more should be like one should be more than the other, if it makes sense.
Hold on a second. Okay. Carry on the show, guys. I had to take a pause for a second, guys. I had to take a pause of what you just said. The
Go
guys know
on.
what the guys in the chats know what that was about. Okay, cool. I ain't gonna dive more into
Was
that.
it something bad? Is it something that I don't know?
Uh
I gotta know.
all right, so I find myself if I'm on a date and a girl and I'm in America and she's a feminist, I find myself they want to create arguments for some reason out of nothing.
Mm,
And I'm like, hey, I'm like, yo, we're on a date, we're trying to have a good time. And I've noticed that some feminists they want to create arguments for the sake of arguing.
yeah.
And I don't want to generalize, but that's been my anecdotal experience. So whenever I see a girl that's like, especially in America, and she says I'm a feminist on her dating profile, I just don't even bother. I don't
Oh.
even. I just don't bother because it's like I'm pretty easygoing. I'm pretty. You know me. What this is our second podcast. We talk behind the scenes.
Mm,
Man, you know what I talk to like. It's pretty chill.
mm-hmm.
I'm not aggressive. I don't really like to debate. I'm not a debater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My conversation is not grandiose. It's not like crazy. I'm not controversial. So
I would say it should be healthy amount of being a feminist and being feminine because I do support feminism, but in the way I will not never be pushy about it because I do face those problems. I'm the only one woman in the company, and I
okay.
am treated differently as other
Mm.
men. I am for a fact, and it's a huge problem. And I'm paid less than men in my company, even though that I do more, just because I'm a woman.
You should
So
ask for a raise.
it is what it is. I do
You
face
should ask,
challenges sometimes.
no, I'm saying you should ask for a raise.
I did.
There you go.
It's another story.
Yeah. Oh man.
But no,
Hey,
no, no. And especially like if you're going on a date, it's about enjoying each other time and not just trying to convince the other person of them like being wrong or trying to have an argument. This is not what it's about. I mean, maybe that's the goal. That's why they go into dates. I don't
yeah.
know.
That's why they go on dates.
I'm gonna make you feel like
I'm,
shit
I'm gonna
today.
tell
That's my
him.
goal.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell him off. I'm gonna get a piece of my mind. Yeah. Hey, you never know.
Time to fight today.
Ah, round one, fight. All right. So Azrael says, "How good is your Russian? It's one of the top 5 hardest languages to know."
I'm native Russian.
Yeah.
I
So
can teach Russian. I used to teach Russian.
it's like breathing air for her because she's native. So, all right. So he says, "What's the cultural differences you would say Americans should know from your perspective?"
Hmm. I can maybe come up with let's do one example. Like maybe I will um, find like remember more. One of the most vivid differences to me, but that may be just with a particular person, right? But
Mhm.
the cultural difference would be how Russians approach help. And what I mean by that is that right now it's considered pretty much fine to have a therapist, a psychologist. I have a psychologist that I talk to weekly. But let's say 7 years ago, 5 years ago, if you have a psychologist, it's considered that you're like cuckoo, that you have a deep problem. If you go to a psychologist, it means that you are like schizo or whatever's going on with you really, really wrong. Because a
Right.
normal person doesn't need a psychologist. A normal person does what? Talks to their friends.
Close to their
So
friends.
that's pretty much like how we would solve any issues. You would just go to your friends, you would talk it out. Your friend would say, this is how Russians would do it. And that took me, actually, honestly, it took me really long time to move away from it. And I'm working on it now, and I'm trying not to do it anymore. I will explain what I'm talking about. Is that maybe pushing with your advice, because it's
Mm.
just natural when a friend or anyone comes to you and you would naturally say, hey, you should do this and that. Oh, I've been in this situation, so that what helped me. So
Yep.
I would give a particular advice what you should do that will definitely help you. Or but I don't be pushy about it. I would just say, hey, like, that's what you can do. Oh, but have you tried doing this and that? Right? So that's
Mm.
from a Russian perspective. From American perspective, I'm compromising your borders, or like I'm what is it, violating your, I forgot English. um it's like you have your borders, and if I'm there with my advice, it
Yeah.
means that I think that you are not capable of solving your problems. This is how
Mm.
an American would treat it. If I'm advising, if I'm saying, hey, like, you should do this, they would think, she thinks that I'm not capable of solving my problems, and she tells me what to do. And
Right.
on the contrary, when I have a problem, I expect a person to tell me, oh, but have you tried this? Just giving me a fresh perspective, actually helping, and not just saying, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry going through this. I fucking know that it's like I'm going through some shit right now. And then you saying sorry, it's not going to help. So that's like one of the main kind of differences.
I like that. I like that. Interesting perspective.
But it's, again, you see like how you
Mm.
all people are different, and then once you communicate what you like, what you don't like, and then you would say, hey, that's not really helping. I mean, I'm glad you're supporting me, but just what am I gonna do? Or
Yeah.
if you're not happy with me advising, you just tell me, because I don't know. This is what I've been doing my whole life. This is how we live. We just want to help. We want to help. We literally genuinely want to help.
Yeah. You definitely got to have friends in your circle that's people that's going to be genuinely in your corner because you could just go to them and consult. Especially if you got friends in your circle, right? And they're all doing really well, and it'd be great if they're doing better than you because their advice is coming from an advanced outlook or advanced perspective. So if you got friends and they all doing worse than you and you're asking questions and guidance and consult to them, and it's kind of coming from a place of like, I don't know, man. But
Did
maybe
you know
maybe
we don't?
problem is a lot of people are on social media more. They offline. I mean, they're more online, and they need to be more on offline.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
I think people are having less friends now, and this is why I think Brazil is great because it's all about social, right? You also got
Mm-hmm.
that fabric,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, absolutely.
America is becoming
Yeah.
a place where people are having less friends, and this is statistically proven over the course of years.